What's up, everyone? Out there on Twitch, out there on YouTube. This is possibly part one of Demigod Transmuter of no god. I'm gonna call it now. We're not gonna worship a god. It's gonna be my conduct for this run. Alright, let me get set up. Yeah, I need to, this is out of date. I actually have, I think the plan is something like, we got DGTM. I think it's looking like, maybe something like this. Tentatively, I'm tempted to plan all the way out to 20, but that's kind of... I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with planning out to 20. The thing is, I might change my mind. Either I'll break the streak, and it won't matter or not to, like, kind of start over anyways. Or I'll just change my mind, so it's a little bit of a folly to try to plan it out to 20 when you're only 3 characters in. Seems like what I would like the streak to do is sort of to get to 20 is to end on a strong set of characters to kind of like help lock in 20, as it were. I'm going through the different species and classes, and I'm not repeating anything, any species or class that hasn't been or that has been played already. So no more Mummy, Ghoul, Naga, no more Conjurer, Gladiator, or Cinder Acolyte. Only awkward part of it, and so it's nice to get weaker stuff out of the way first, and because then if you get that, the rest of the streak is sort of locked in, more relatively speaking. The only problem with that is if you mess up the streak and have to start over, you either just have to continue where you left off, or you have to like immediately go and play. I mean, I guess I don't have to play... Mummy is something I'd probably start off with, I guess. It means you might end up playing a lot of mummies, which I don't know how to feel about that. I guess the whole point is that you have to... It doesn't really happen too badly because, you know, if you're actually doing the streak, you're actually making some real progress. So by the... Even if you don't make it all the way, if you get 8 games in or whatever, that's at least 8 games before you have to play a mummy again or whatever. We'll see. So, yeah, I thought at first I planned Demigod Transmuter, and then I looked at it recently and I was like, oh, that's actually not as much fun because they can't really do the spell casting and heavy armor thing. Maybe I should do Baraki Transmuter, but Baraki Transmuter is not the best pairing in terms of a streak in the sense that it's just a harder... It's sort of... TM is a somewhat weaker start. Probably the weakest book start? I would say. It's still a decent start. It's not like horrible or anything. It's just kind of maybe slightly below average. I think Enchanter got a bump with the recent changes, and Enchanter was probably better even before. AM is, like, people don't like AM, but it's actually decently strong, you know, starting with a ranged weapon and starting with those spells that you start with. And of all the other, like, direct damage and summons and necromancy, those are all strong starts. Scald was the big one. Consecutive wins and last games won. Oh, that's sort of showing your best streak. So my best streak is 19. And then it's showing basically what's in progress. So it's saying the best streak you've ever done is, you know, I have 19 consecutive wins. That's the best one. Yeah, it's slightly misleading that because it's like, I mean, it is true, but it doesn't really imply that it's the best. I think it's short because it needs to fit in an IRC message, and well, I mean, most streaks aren't very long, but once it starts to get to a long streak, there's not much room left, so it's kind of economy of words. And then the second part is saying what's in progress now. So if I had lost my last game, I think the second part would read something like, it might not even print at all if I had lost my last game. But the second part is the current streak, only 3 wins. We just finished Naga Cinder Acolyte, so this will be number 4 if this one wins. Big if. Alright, you become a ball lightning. So we're gonna start off with UC, or I'm sorry, UC. Transmutations. Do we have it level 2? Yeah, I think we... So Wereblood... This is the... Now at level 2 we don't get 6 to snakes, which was a very overpowered spell. You definitely wanted to lean into it. Summon enemy, non-summon enemy that casts slays. Temporarily increases their melee and ranged effectiveness. Minor healing. Yeah, I think you want that overall. And then we have Spider Form, which is really good at level 3. And we have Beastly Appendage. Actually, do you want to start with TM? It's an interesting question. Maybe you don't. Maybe you actually want to start with UC. I used to do a split, but I think you actually possibly want to start... What is Spell power is only 12%. I want to see a description. So, okay, there we go. I don't know why that was so confusing. Auxiliary armor on the affected body parts are melded. It's an interesting question. 17% fail rate. Do I actually want TM? That's an interesting question. What is the optimal skilling on do I want? Yeah, I keep saying TM. And that's confusing. That's the class. Do I actually want unarmed combat? I think the delay and damage that I'm going to get is probably not appreciable. You probably want transmutations overall. Be forgiven either way. So, starting vaults where you have to play very carefully. We're not going to use this mace. Avoid opening doors, if possible. There's ring mail. We're not going to use that because it's going to, yeah. On the other hand, if we could cast, which we can, but it's a 26% fail rate. It's an interesting armor, actually, because with our starting stats, we're almost able to cast it. 26 is unacceptably high. So you want to play... there we go. Probably don't want random tiles. Got our first potion. Killed the bat. Yeah, that... We have 5 MP, so that kind of tells me that we don't have to worry... What did... Cobalt comes into view. 1... Oof. Yikes. That was a little bit spooky. Yeah, I think transmutations is possibly good. I kind of messed that up, unfortunately. Got a really nice hit in. It's a surprising amount of damage. Cloak. That is really good. Can we get that? Okay, there's some AC. That is really nice. That is not nice. That's a quokka. We want to avoid that for sure. Not going to go near the scroll. Want to get to XL2 before we... Boy, the duration of that is really short. Do we have anywhere we can actually go? Okay, we're probably okay with this door now. You just have to take doors carefully. Nice. Throwing stones is good. So we're only at 46%. Ugh, this quokka is situated so centrally in where we have to go, and I don't really want... Looks like we can go around it. It's just that if we have to retreat, we'll... Okay, so we can't get that scroll. And another goddamn quokka. I mean, we might be able to do okay versus the quokka. Starting to wonder if we actually want to go after this single quokka, because it seems like we don't have a big choice. Giant cockroach, that's good. Okay. Still 9% power. Staff. Hey, there's some rPois. 2 spell levels left. Wereblood down to 13%. We actually might want to switch over. Definitely no more than 3.0, I think. Really hoping to get that level up so that... Almost there. Yeah, we're starting to get some more duration with this spell now. That's good. Sonic 2 music is here to help us out. Oh, look at this. Yay! We made it! Okay, now Wereblood. Before I take on the quokka, I'm just going to keep exploring this outer perimeter. Or... Okay. Oh no. Okay. That rat is out of the way. Unfortunately, that quokka is probably alert. Hopefully, what about this ring now? Okay, no. Yeah, we're not ready for that yet. Possibly not going to be relevant by... Ooh. Hello. Damn. Guess I'll get Telly. It's a guaranteed escape. Versus ident. So if this rat woke up... Problem is, what if the rat didn't wake up? What if? Exclude both R's. Both rodents. We're gonna go over here. Okay, so Wereblood... Well, no, Wereblood isn't gonna help me here. What was that? Alright. Got the quokka. At this point, Wereblood isn't going to be of much help. What, guess we want to go from this way, probably? Yep, no problem. You know, just being careful. Quokkas can, Okay, so that answers our question there. They never did wake up. It was different rats. We have another exclusion. Am I standing on it? Oh, there it is. Oh, I guess I lost my... So I guess the heal... Yeah, the problem with Wereblood is that, what is, spider form? So we need to wait... Yeah, it's an interesting question, actually. 3 may not be the actual stopping point for TM. Problem is that, I think... I get to level 3, it's going to be at 36% fail, which is not very good. I will have a level up. How does that work now? Let's go put this stuff. Pretty much all of this. Wow, I guess I just totally took on that we go. I just totally took on that adder without really thinking about it, to be quite honest. It worked out, but like, wow. That was an adder, wasn't it? Am I insane? That was, yeah. I just was like, oh yeah, adder, I'll just hit it. Okay, we're still going to be cautious about opening doors. Case in point. I guess there's no reason to rest off Beastly Appendage, now that I think about it. I don't think. It's this layout. Okay. Yeah, we don't know what's in here. Alright. What do we want most? Probably int this early. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, that's cool. 28%. Don't have any spell levels yet. We didn't really get much out of UC. I kind of want to work on it now. I really want spider form basically ASAP. That will maybe get us to melee range. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna. What's up, Crassiter? Yeah, been streaming. I've been on a long break, and I've been, for the past, I would say, a few years, I've been very sporadic, but I'm back into a schedule. I used to stream like 3 times a week, quite a lot. Several years ago, but only recently have I started kind of getting back into it, but Okay, now we're... We can go buy a shop, or buy a shop. I wish I could buy a shop. Oh, cool. I got another one. Okay. Quaslul. Well, no use. I don't... I guess the... That's an interesting question about the worm. Can I take on the worm? How much do they do? Eesh, don't like it. Don't like that very much, yeah. I was worried about the worm. How much do we care about? Huh. I guess I'm gonna try another staircase. I could take the worm up and park him. I should be more careful, honestly. It's not very safe. Casting level 2. TM. Crasser, fighters of DCSS. Head to trolls, never got very far. Trolls will, if you're a newer player, trolls can be a little bit challenging because they are counter to, like, say, a minotaur, in that you have to find a way to improve their defenses. That's not just pick up plate armor or whatever. One of the secrets with trolls is just to... There's sort of two major aspects to trolls. One is to pick up a kite shield or a tower shield as soon as they drop. If you luck into scales, those are good too. Dragon scales will fit on a troll, but you might find some lower tier ones, and that's fine. But really look out for a kite shield, for example. And also use large rocks, because you can throw large rocks. You can kill stuff at range. Because you tend to have less defenses overall. I mean, you have a lot more HP, and that is part of your defenses, but without AC and with less EV, the HP is basically all you got, unless you look into early armor. And yeah, just try using large rocks, look out for a shield, look out for scales. Other options include statue form, because statue form lets you use your claws 3 and gives you defenses. And it's neutral for your damage output, it's sort of net beneficial for your defenses. It does come with a major downside that you got to be careful of, but that's another route. And their Earth, although their other spellcasting apps are terrible, their Earth app actually isn't that bad. Maybe you can find Wizardry, maybe you can find a source of Int. If you find the spell, you can also actually start to level Int, because, like, you know, that is big payoff if you're going to go that spell. Okay, so spider. All right, so we're gonna get this probably to about 5. There you are, you evil beast, you evil creature. Now, do I want to try to fight you again? Is the question. Well, I have 20. No, I don't. Oh, but I have spider. Oh, I don't have spider form. What about I'll hatch? Come on around. Take the hatch with me, sir. There we go. We'll park you. I may come back and kill you all the same, but we may wait until I have spider form for that. I don't think I have to rest off Beastly Appendage. I don't think I have to do that. Hunting sling, huh? Thank you for your stones. So yeah, we're just using Beastly Append. Ooh. Question is, can I throw in... Hey, got the worm. This looks like youth. It is indeed. I'm not gonna open this door. He's just got a cloak, so youth will. Oh, nice. Poison darts, very good. Very helpful. I guess that's that level. Do I really care about this worm? I'm not sure this worm is that much experience, and also he may be actually difficult to track down. Yeah, I guess I don't care. Maybe if I was at 90% XP, I would care a little bit more. Okay. Adder. I do have a poison staff, but I don't think my. Boy, we are not making any progress on spider form, are we? Despite training transmutations. We still want to be careful. This is D3. We've got our foothold on this character, but it can go south carefully. Carefully. Can I talk today? I feel like I can't talk today. I'm saying weird things. I blame the Quokkas for that. Scale mail. Possible to use. Well, I mean, I guess I'll use Wereblood. Wereblood is probably a mistake still. Whoa, 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 whoa. A lot of slaying. Getting some of that heal. That sweet, sweet heal. That wasn't not done yet. I guess Wereblood did some work there. It did something. We got the lig pot. Oh, don't forget we have might as well. This is some kind of special vault, I'm pretty sure. By special, I mean it's just a box with monsters in it, maybe? How are we doing on the old 22? It's not going down quickly. So I guess this next level up, when we get to level 5, we'll we need to. Nope. That is not what you want to see. Right. Okay, I think we're gonna have to lig. Yeah, great. Oh. The problem is she's awake on the level now. Oh, hey, what do you know? Another potion of might. Do I want to go elsewhere on the level with her around? She's kind of nasty. We didn't gain a level up. I do have spider form, but I can't really cast it. The problem. Don't really want to go burning every resource I have. What is this? Enchant armor, okay. It does help a little bit. Actually gonna enchant the frickin' robe, I don't even care. How much of this level is left? Decent amount. She's gonna make my life a living hell. I think the smart play is to avoid. She's like... Which one do we want? Malay, female? Oh, hello, friend. I think I can take you now. Oh, is this Natasha? Yeah. Weird, what? Wait. Wait a minute. Why isn't she... What happened? Where do we... Kill Natasha? Yeah. It doesn't have a... No, it should have a notation. I guess that's just not properly tracked. Interesting. Howler monkey, huh? Okay. Got a level up, that's something. Fighter form is enough to where we can consider casting it. Hey, that wand is the thing that we want. Okay, now I think we're kind of in business. That's an ogre. Like that the dart slug did a thing. What is this? We're almost done with this level. $43 gold. Yeah, we'll go get that. That can be useful. What else we got left on this level? I think I'm ready to declare this level okay for now. Orc Wizard, always spooky because you don't know if an Orc Priest is around, and even an Orc Wizard by itself is decently spooky. That Ogre I wouldn't mind killing, but I probably have to use poison and or flame charges, or try to hit it with spider. I wouldn't mind doing, to be quite honest. Oof. Can I cycle you differently? I don't quite like that setup. We can't get the drop on you a little bit better. I sort of screwed that up. Really? Okay. Oh. Oof. Do I wanna... Fuck. He could, That shows you. I'm gonna fear. I'll let him die. Yeah. That was risky. I probably should have poisoned him and walked away once I got in some poison. Going for the extra hits was greedy, I think. Yeah, that was costly. I would have really liked to kept that fear scroll, but yeah, one hit and he did really good damage. All it takes is one hit. Do I want to do this now? Oh, interesting. Now we're in some trouble. Okay. Alright, so we're at 19%. Yeah, I think we still gotta go with the TM, unfortunately. There's 6.0. Oof, that was not good. We'll go back and get another fear scroll when we can. Second staff of poison. Almost at level 6. Nice. Jerry. There we go. 4 more int. That's really good. Now we can cast it. Now we can go to UC. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Try 5.0. That was spooky, man. Okay, so what do we got? I'm gonna go finish Natasha, Servant of Life and Death. Gonna get that last XP from old Natasha. Well, aren't you freaking annoying? Damn. Didn't peg you for doing that. Oh, apparently I hit her. Okay. Well. Okay, so that's... Oh, it's an adder. One thing you want to be careful about in spider form is that you're vulnerable to poison. So some monsters you have to you take care about that, especially since I don't have any curing. Oh, I would like to pick up that beer skull. I don't know why that went off the old shopping list, but I absolutely do want that. Other ogre. It's not what we want. I'm with the ogre. Okay. Now we're gonna kite. Nice. Alright, so it didn't take too many hits. Yeah, it's a pretty good strat. Pretty good strat, he says. Some gloves, cool. Buckler, also not bad. Ooh, this is nice. Acrobat, maybe. Int would be good. It's not bad. Wizardry and even will is useful. A little bit of strength. Seeing this. Nice shop. Potentially Ring of Ice. Let's go back and get that. Really hate how it takes that off your shopping list. Okay. Okay, Centaur. You can take the Centaur out. Oh, look at this. Well, probably don't want to. Just have to, boy, this, approach to the Centaur is not my... The adder on top of things? Ugh. Okay, that should take care of things. Oh boy. Alright, so let's get some fighting. Oh, gained some fighting already. So watch out for that Centaur, just don't want to get caught in the open. Oh. So far, so good. More poison darts. Ice form. Yes. The Whip Eudifact. Plus blink. Evocable blink. I'm gonna call it now, not long for this world. I could be wrong, but... Ooh, adders, huh? Two at once. There's our fighting. So now we have all the spells that we need immediately. Dodging. Not gonna get much, just a little bit. Don't you make fun of my apps now. We can just hit this guy. Our core, not quite what we were hoping for, but oh well. Maybe I'll find an acid dragon. Wow, all the shops. Good old Ruined Executioner's Axe. There's Temple. There's Adder. Ufedibus. I don't think we even gained a point of EV from that. Let's try this. You know what? Let's do TM stuff for a little bit. And then we'll go back to UC, so that we can get Ice Form locked in, online, as they say. That hurt. Okay, perhaps that plan wasn't the best. Now we have to take an alternate staircase. I'm gonna go down in spider form so I have increased evasion, although one could argue that that exposes you to other kinds of risks, like being next to something with poison, but I think the evasion boost is... Hey, we got gloves and a buckler. Sick. You know, the buckler I don't think is actually worth, even out of form, for the hit to your damage. I mean, there is the defensive boost, but I just don't think it's actually... Ooh. Yeesh. Okay. Alright. You got him. You gotta be really careful with those spider form ogre plays, because, oh boy. That is, a lot of stuff. It's pretty nasty. Let's see, can I do anything about this? Huh. I wouldn't mind pulling Iguana. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to be satisfied with pulling Hound. Oof. That was, bad. I'm really not sure what my game plan was there. I probably should have read Fear. Can you read? Yeah, you can read scrolls. Yeah, honestly, that was textbook lose a streak play right there, is what that was. It's like you go down, you get the Nightmare Staircase, you go up. I should have just feared when I went down. This is a problem with streaks in DCSS, is you have to, like, transition from I'm not in very much danger to I'm in tons of danger, and the transition periods, like, are so long in between. Unlike other games where you have to be on point, like, almost all the time, this is a game that'll do that to you, like... Jeez, that was just terrible. I should have just read Fear when I went down that staircase, probably. Although, then there's a question of what else to do. But good lord, that was terrible. I mean, a little bit in my defense, I didn't have a ton of amazing plays, but... Yeah, I don't know. That was just... That wasn't the right plays, is what I'm trying to get at. Oh my god. And misplayed. Miskeyed there, that's what I did. Terrible. Getting really lucky here. Gotta do better than that. And the problem is the early game is where this stuff is so critical. And past that, you have all this leeway. And I'm good when that is the case, but I'm not so good in these D1 through D7, or not as good. That black bear fight was even silly. Oof. I believe the rest of the run goes better than this. What's up, Kelly? Its form still ways away, even with that much? Wow. Get over here. Okay, that's good. Yeesh. Still can't believe that Orc Priest nonsense. Like, that was terrible. I really needed to stop and think more. Oof. That wasn't so hot either. This level is certainly bringing a little bit more resistance than is usually brought. Okay, we got the iguana. Watch out for our... There's an ogre. We have enough HP that we're probably not gonna... Or fear. Don't forget to use fear if you get stuck. Yeah, on the fun. Start cutting stuff with poison. This level has kind of a central openness to it. Thankfully, there's some separation between where I was with all the gnolls and Skybee's handled. Bunch more gnolls wandering around. Oh, that one had a plate. Necrophage, huh? Don't have a whole lot of flame left. Ooh. This is not a combo I like very much. I don't really want to take on both of these, although that one only has a flail, but still. Problem is, yeah, now they're in sync, so. I need them to become separated so I can take them out individually. Killer bee zombie, huh? That thing, come over here. I realize there's a casting penalty in spider form. Oh, is this a different iguana than the... Okay. One corrosion hit isn't so bad. Oh, I have hardcore. I should put it on. That's funny. Oh, I guess that's how we're gonna do this. Wasn't expecting to see an orc priest. I got some cantrips. Animate skeleton? Don't really want to train Necro. Horde is like useful, but not really gonna... Wow, the iguanas. There's our boy. Okay, we can, yeah, do that. Alright, that's the white imp. Ice form, getting close. Did get corroded. Orc wizard. I think I'll stay away from him, at least initially. Our old friend, Crimson Imp. You guys remember Crimson Imps? Ooh, okay. We don't like Joseph. We don't like him very much. Maybe we in fact do want to go down. See what we can lure around the corner here. Yeah, I can certainly acid one Joseph, but it's kind of dicey. Might and getting him adjacent, and then might and spider form might do it. This looks like the... yeah, doesn't look good. I want to be able to cast Ice Form very soon for stuff like that. Killer bees as well. Oh boy. What? What's with the shouting? It's not in there. Oh. Okay, we got 27 int. We might want to lean a little bit into... That's a fairly nasty zombie that we just killed. Level up was much good. Now we've got Ice Form at 17. We're gonna definitely like stop at around 9. But we're gonna want some strength too. We're gonna want some dex too as well. Boy, that's a big vault. Don't really want to go into this vault necessarily. I think after that we'll probably get to transmute 10. Yeah, this is a huge woods vault. Let me go check out what's down here. Okay, so if I have to, oof, that's oh. Ooh, that was a little bit nasty, honestly. There's another one. Unfortunately, I can't see what its weapon was. Don't really want to go back down there now. Well, I tried to cast spider form, but we didn't make it. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of monsters in here, and we may find that good old Yosef has also woken up. Don't love this layout in this vault because it's just... I do have escape options, but... What is this? Throwing net. What else can we buy? Embroidered gloves. Go get this. Oh, we can't get the gloves quite yet anymore. That sucks. Hello. Guess I really should have looked at those stairs that I went down. Oof, Steam Dragon. I don't know how I feel about that. Sea balls to 30. I do have a resist pot. Fortunately, we're right around the corner from Joseph, so we're not going to go back through those stairs. But yeah, I should have checked those stairs that I was going down more carefully. Aha. Yeah, that's what we were afraid of. Okay. You got me. Probably shouldn't have tested that. Be careful. We are going to end up dead. Yeah, that Null Sergeant was... I should have Wand of Acid the Null Sergeant, probably. So going into this vault is a mistake. It really just is a mistake. I should come back to it later rather than clearing it now. It's just too dangerous. Because you don't know what else you're going to find in here. I hate to pass up experience, but... Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like it. I mean, it's not my music. It's just a playlist of cool tracks. You can, if you like the song, you can use that command to see what the current song is and get a link to it on YouTube. Guess I'm committed to this bad play now. I made the mistake too early. Ooh, Reverend Zombie. There's our, oh my god. Okay, remember when I said that going down here was a mistake? Well, this is why. Holy crap. That is absolutely insane. Okay, my bad. Wow. That was, not a lot of stuff that I wanted to wake up. We're going to quietly exit this level. Yeah, so when you see an insane, like, very elaborate vault, sometimes the best move is just to exit, and yeah, that was one of those times. Like, wow. That was a white, ugly thing, which I elected to read teleport, by the way, and that thing is extremely dangerous because the cold damage... I'm trying to not spend my last Fear Skull if I can avoid it, but I absolutely would have. And then 2 Deep Elf Pyromancers, which can hit you very easily with a lot of fire damage. 2 Trolls. A Hornet. Most of the rest of this is only modestly threatening, but that's 1, 2, 3 extremely scary monsters. Trolls are quite scary, and I don't think I can take out a troll. A wolf comes into view. Oh, I see. Let's take out 1 wolf, but other than that, I'm not going to try to take out Grum and his entire armada right now. Make some stiff resistance. So what we need now... Okay, what we are probably going to do is try this other... I don't really... Now those monsters are going to be relatively trapped in... Well, apparently not. They already wandered all this far out. Where are the other downstairs? Okay, there's that one. I don't really have... The Pyromancer is quite dangerous because he just hits too hard with stuff like Bolt of Fire. That guy's even got a halberd. Here's the frog. Yeah, and I can't do anything, so we're going to exclude that stairs. I think it was... I'll have to verify this. Yeah, so we go down this one. Now the problem here, we can't really bypass. I can teleport. Oh, I've only got one teleport. This is going to be Grum and a lot of wolves. I've got one fear as well. Jeez. A bad situation to be sure. Not sure what... I can try some Quaff ID. I think, yeah, I've already gotten... All I have is a fear. I don't really like the idea of going down into Grum's army with all those wolves. What is this? Just some zombie? Centaur zombie's not that big of a deal. But there's Grum. Oh, he's got distortion. Oh, no. That's really bad. Wow. That is quite bad. That's all three downstairs? No, it's not. Does this mean we have to take on Joseph? Which we can probably do. The problem is that it's not really safe to go wandering over towards that neck of the woods because you've got a white ugly thing. Oh boy, I don't like it. Boy, this is a really nasty situation. This vault complicated our lives a lot. If I had excluded it, my life would be a lot simpler. I really should have just... I was like, you know what? It's probably not that bad. I already made the mistake of going in, so let's just explore it. But it ended up being much, much worse. So now I've made this much more complicated because I would like to get... This is like a really nice staircase right here. I'd really like to get there, but I don't have a way to get over there. The only way, in fact, the only way I can get, even if I go through here, it doesn't actually help me a ton. Yeah, that's all three downstairs. Okay. So now things become kind of clear. We have the option of going down to Distortion Grum. I mean, haste isn't going to cut it. If he can hit me with distortion, that's the problem. I don't have a hex wand, and I'm potentially going to have to tank a hit anyways. A lot of scrolls, but I don't have a lot ID'd. Let's try some scroll ID really fast. Chant weapon, great. Immolation, amnesia, not so helpful, and all the others are single stacks, so no help there. Immolation could be, in theory, a play. I'm actually leaning towards the Grum distortion situation, but it's nasty because this level is really relatively unexplored. If I go down, say, and teleport, if I teleport before going down, I could still get banished. There is another teleport. Is this? Yeah, it's another teleport right there, so I'd get one up eventually. I would have a fear. Okay, this is good. Alright. So we got a good teleport. Moderately wounded Grum. We can... Ugh, boy. Well, maybe I spoke a little bit too soon about good teleport. We can catch Grum out where we can acid wand him. He's gonna heal up, unfortunately. Aha. Let's see, we are wearing War Axe and Plate. Okay, this is probably best done with kiting, indeed. You just have to be careful about Erica. She's sort of a special threat. I do have a resist spot to help with her a little bit. But, I still would not necessarily want to... Oh, okay, we got Fear. That's good. That's good. And we want to stay kind of vaguely away from where she is. Kind of want to focus on... We can get rid of Grum. That would be great. We have 3 Acid Wand charges. I also have a net. If I can net him. Go for Ice Form. There's Grum. Okay. Maybe we can make this work with acid. My wand? Alright. Last one. Oh, Disto. Shit. Okay, we have to... He's almost dead, but we've got to fear him. Come on. Alright. Got him. Okay. God. Alright, I think we got out of that situation. Oh, crap. That's not what we wanted to see. Spider form could be an answer here. That's, I think what we want to do is go into spider. Ugh. Yeah, I was afraid of that. He leaped. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna go for might and see if... Alright, got him. Whew. That was not fun as well. Boy, this has not been the easiest DGTM, I have to say. What do we want to do now? We're kind of out of wands. Yeah, that getting hit with Grum's Disto was a huge mistake on my part. That made that a lot more complicated, unfortunately. If I just kept another, if I just moved back to keep another monster in view, in between, I could have probably killed him. Well, I ran out of acid charges, so it's not clear that that is the case. The fear play was was good, but it was going to come down to like spider form and like hoping for evasion to work. What do we want now? We got... Hopefully... Oh, God. I can't rest to full. It's in this corner and it's like... Okay, can I rest it? No, you can't. Alright, well... Can I please rest to full HP? No, I cannot. Alright. Can I please? Thank you. I don't know why every monster found its way to my little tiny corner. Leg pot, that's good. That's helpful. Komodo dragon. Oof, come on. There we go. Yeah, I think that was probably the best play for that. Alright, so now we can get this teleport. Now we have teleport again. Now we have 2 teleport, excellent. Anything else we need to worry about? Oh yeah, these guys. Wax. I care about... kind of want to hold on to my few remaining... ice. See invisible. It's not a bad thing to pick up. Don't know that I want it right now. Hey, what's that? Oh. That's a nasty monster. You have our core, but come on, die. Thank you. I don't think I need more spellcasting right now. Let me get some ice. Let's see what this amulet is. Yeah, that's well, swappable RF. Don't really need regen MP. Stark Road is not very nice, although I do happen to have an Arc Core ring, so it might actually wash out, and then the will really isn't my favorite thing either. Not that I really have any will, but I'd rather not have 0 will. Found lair. Okay, anything that we can get that would be cool right now. Aha. Okay. I thought... Ah, I see what happened. Fair enough. Gonna have to do that. Any of this stuff that I want? Oh, I can't quite afford some of that. Do I want see invis? I don't know that I really do. I'd much rather have some of these other rings. The Dex ring would be particularly nice, although the Prot ring would also be good. Amulet of Acrobat would be nice. I'm a little far away from them. Maybe having something useful now is better than having that. There we go. Probably stop on D9 in terms of exploration. Another res pod. Ooh. More poison, but we don't really... Poison darts, we don't care about that too much. It's kind of past the point where it's... Oof. More identify. Boy, we haven't been getting a lot of identify. Wraith? Wraiths are kind of nasty. Don't really have a simple way to weaken a Wraith. Can soften it up a little bit with the Flame Wand, or I can just hit it. I think I can just hit it. Okay, I think we got the Wraith. Despite the slowness, I think we got it. Although I probably should have not fought it in this context here where I'm close to unexplored areas, so I could get flanked. So I probably should have set up that fight differently since I know it's a somewhat nasty monster. Wild Flood's nice. Okay, we're gonna get some Evo now. That will be helpful. Like getting a wand that doesn't run out. Ah, okay. This is some easy XP. This is the entrance to Orc. Well, this isn't very good XP. You know what? Is this the entrance to Orc? Full zombie is slightly scary. So I have resistance, I have RC for the white ugly thing, but those things still hit pretty hard. I don't necessarily want to go. And then the Necromancer, like I have this swappable RF amulet, which helps. But you have to be very careful with those. And avoid trying to pull too many zombies at once. Boy, oh boy. I say that, and then I go and pull a whole lot of zombies. I don't like that. Oh, Shadow, I see. Right. I thought you were, a Sky Beast for some weird reason, even though I saw you. Oh, I should have put on... Why don't I have on the Sea Invis ring? Jeez. Went and bought the damn thing. Oh, good. There's another one. At least I'll get to make use of it now. So, let's see. Let's see. What do we want to train right now? Do I want to train a little bit more? I mean, I do have the file, but it's only a one-shot thing. It's very good, and it's good damage for that one shot, but I don't know that I really want to go to 5 right now. Some fighting would be okay. Okay, we got another troll zombie. In fact, this is where we want Wereblood. Anytime you want Wereblood, it is now. I haven't really been using that spell super effectively because, okay, that's nice. We'll look to maybe get a couple more levels now. That power wand is a big help. It's not all that many shots, but it does help give us some... Cobalt Brigand. There's our boy. Okay, we might want to go and rest this off. Come back down in ice form and with full HP. Yeah, he had Curare. We'll pick up some of that Curare. That's not bad. Good confusion. He got me. But we're okay. More acid dragons. Oh. Oof. Do I want to paralyze him? What about you? Okay, well that was a waste of 3 paralysis charges that did nothing. One of the reasons why I like training up. Honestly, that play was like, it was partially because I was trying to avoid the acid dragon and I did so very incompetently by going into an unexplored area. But, oh well. Thankfully I didn't get punished for it. Acid dragons are kind of scary. I do have R-Core to reduce the acid damage so they're not as scary, but gotta watch out for those. Well, that's D9. Probably a good idea. Not to Orc. Let's see what Orc 1 looks like. Okay. It doesn't have any monsters in Los. That's a start. I have a door, which is quite unusual. I'm not going to open it because it's just going to make noise. Man, that run, I mean, I cannot say I played this very well. I made a lot of crucial mistakes. I made that stupid... Me and Orc Priest, I seem to screw up with them. I get into a kind of a weird, like, jumping from cautious to, like, panicked play. And you just have to remember how quickly things... What you saw me do for those of you who saw it, as I went down, I took an alternate staircase, which is always a risky thing to do and always something you want to avoid if you can. And I can't recall if I really could have done a lot more to avoid doing it. And I had, like, an orc priest and an orc wizard and... I forget, it was 2 orc wizards? It wasn't great. Which, they can hit you with confusion. Anyway, I decided to pull them back up, which I think was mistake number 1. I probably should have just feared. It's just a little bit too risky. I had a fear scroll, might as well use it. I think I had acid, and I could have used that. I could have, if I was going to fight them, I probably wanted to fight them on the level. I think I had cure identified, so it's probably safe to try some kind of initial attack. But I needed to kill the orc priest quickly, and then it's okay to maybe pull the orc wizards. They just can't do as much. But I started hitting the orc wizard while in form, and I was damaging it, but I wasn't killing it. It was in spider form. And spider form melee is better than non-spider form melee, or, you know, your conventional melee, but it's not that much better. And it was poisoning it, but it's not that fast acting. I think a quaff of a cure potion at some point. Anyhow, it was just a terrible play. And then we had other mishaps, like going into that really nasty vault. I really should have avoided that. And I said that, and I went in a little bit, and I had an altercation with a Null Shaman, and I wasted a fear scroll fighting that, because I almost died. And then I was like, alright, I already made the mistake. I'll just continue the vault. Maybe the rest of it'll be fine. And then I opened a door in the center to, like, a murder box with, like, 2 Deep Elf Pyromancers, 2 Trolls, a white ugly thing that was immediately adjacent to me when I opened the door, and it was bad. I teleported out and didn't get killed or even damaged by the white ugly thing, which was nice. And then we had a setup with Grum with a distortion spear. That was fun too. And we did that mostly okay, although I did take a distortion hit that I could have avoided, and it only takes 1 hit to get banished, so I didn't even really do that correctly. It was a rough start. Hopefully this character will start to, like, take off a little bit more so. I don't have a god to kind of lean on, so I have to hope that consumables drop okay. I have a little bit of consumables. Unfortunately, I haven't identified heal wounds. I don't have a whole lot of potion consumables. I do have might. I might have heal wounds in that stack of 2 potions. I've got a bunch of un-ID'd scrolls. Maybe one of those is good. Maybe acquirement. We'll have to see.